Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Earworm. My name is Tim Malone, young master Zachary. My co-host Zach Smith is with me today, and this week is my week. I feel like it's been a while since it's been my week, but this week I wanted to speak specifically about a song, and kind of the thing that drove me is everybody knows Led Zeppelin. Like, if you're above 4 years old, you've heard the name Led Zeppelin before, I think, regardless. And their favorite song of mine is, you want to let the audience know, Zach, what my favorite song is by them?
Is it the one that we're talking about?
Yeah. Why don't you pronounce it for us?
It's Bron Stomp.
All right. And so it's a Gaelic word, Bron Yar, stomp. And you know what it actually means, Zach?
It was where were they? They were in like Wales, weren't
Yeah.
they?
It is the
So they
Welsh
were they
Gaelic.
were I thought
Yeah.
it was like the name of the building or the house that they were staying in when they recorded it.
Right. And but do you know what the Bron Yar actually means?
No clue.
So I actually took Gaelic in college. I took the Irish version of Gaelic, but it means uh, Golden Hill or Golden Mountains or Gold Mountain or Golden Mountain or Golden Hill. So I mean, if you extrapolate it to like English, Gold Hill or Gold Mountain Stomp actually sounds kind of cool, but Bron Yar
It's not a
Stomp.
bad name. Yeah.
So, question for you: did you ever hear it before I suggested it to you?
No. And this was kind of a shock because first of all, I want to take a sip of my beer and I want to address the elephant in the room. I have a nice fun cup tonight. I have a box of popcorn tonight. So I'm going to take a sip of my popcorn real quick.
The kernels taste good, right?
Oh, yeah, they go down a little rough.
Rough.
No, anyway, so Led Zeppelin, I feel like the first the first memory I have of them was you remember the ping pong movie Balls of Fury?
Yeah.
I feel like they were just prevalent in that movie. They were just at the forefront. I think in the first like intro scene, there was a Led Zeppelin song, and it was like, and I was like, oh, okay, so they're like stadium rock kind of, big.
Oh yeah.
So, and then you said this song by Led Zeppelin, and I was like, all right, number one, I've never heard of it. And then number two, the first time I listened to it, I was like, are you sure this is Led Zeppelin?
Exactly.
Like it was really cool, but I was like, I feel like if I was introduced to Led Zeppelin on this song over their most popular song, Immigrant Song, which I do not like, and it's off the same album, right?
Led Zeppelin 3.
I don't like that song. I've never liked that song. So it always left a sour taste in my mouth. So this song, it's kind of like different. It was cool. It was refreshing. And then I looked more into it, and like you're saying, it's the Scottish kind of folk feel, and it was Bert Jansch. Bert, do you know about this?
I have no idea who that is.
So Bert Jansch, this song was influenced. It was called Wagoneer's Lad by Bert Jansch. And
Dude,
it's a Scottish folk song, and it is a copy paste, dude. Copy paste. I listened to them back to back. It's boom, boom. Same thing. It's the coolest thing I'd ever heard.
can you share that with me, please?
Absolutely. I'm shocked that you didn't know this.
First of all, okay. I mean, these discussions that we have, I'm doing the research out the wazoo, but I didn't even see that. First of all, I didn't do a big deep dive into Bron Stomp, but other than looking up the Gaelic version of what the word meant, I had no idea. So Zach, like, all right, check, you are winning.
I got my research. I always hated school. I always hated doing research, but here we go, baby. I found my niche. No, this was it's so cool. This guy, Bert Jansch, again, it is the opening to Barnyon, whatever, but BYA. We're gonna call it that. BYA.
Bronyor. That's
I'm
it.
gonna call it BYA. I'm gonna call it BYA. So the same, it's the same beat. It's the exact same beat, and I hate. There's some songs that I don't like that do that copy paste, and it's like I guess you can look at the new Taylor Swift album. They're talking about she took all those songs and it's copy paste, copy paste, copy paste with all her lyrics in it.
Right, 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 right.
That's I've always been a Taylor Swift kind of on the fence, either big hater or kind of like, but I
I don't dislike or like enjoy. I don't know. I'm like somewhere like whatever.
we're gonna have a in-depth guest discussion about Taylor Swift at an undisclosed date somewhere down the road.
I'd love to guess.
But
I'd love to guess, but I'm gonna hold it to myself.
but no, this song, it's like it's almost like paying homage to. They went over there, or they were influenced. Their whole band was influenced by this guy, and they took. It's almost like they took their favorite song, and they took the beat, and then ran with it and did their own twist on it. It's so you got to listen to them back to back, dude.
I
It's
will.
unbelievable.
All right. This is becoming my favorite episode here. Holy moly! The thing that stands out to me, and I listened to it so many times since I brought it up to you. It feels like 2 weeks ago. Um, is if you pay like very, very close attention, there's a bunch of little nuances in reference to a bunch of different things, like the rhythm and oh my gosh. Um, but here's the thing. I mean, I know every person in this band. I know their names. I know like their backgrounds. And we talk about this all the time that you're like 20 years younger than me plus. Are there bands in your, I don't know, vernacular, in your wheelhouse where you know all the members' names? Let's go
Um,
Creed. Let's go Creed real quick.
no, I don't know Creed. I can honestly tell you, I off the top of my head, I don't know the lead singer's name. We had an episode on him. I can't even. I got to go back to my notes. My notes are right over there.
So here's the thing. So here's the thing. Like me growing up, I knew everybody. I'll tell you right now. It's Robert Plant, Jimmy Page, John Paul Jones, and John Bonham. And like that, like the way that I grew up, like The Who was my favorite band when I was like, I turned double digits, 10 years old. I knew all those guys, John Entwistle, Roger Daltrey, you know, you name it. And it was like, me and my buddies in elementary school, we were like quizzing each other. Like, oh, who's the drummer's name for the Beatles? And, you know, like silly things like that. Because, I mean, we didn't have the internet and we're like, you know, you have to read like the back of the album cover to figure out who the keyboardist was for you know, you name it, but like you can name like a band like Rush, like you know, a trio band from Canada, and Geddy Lee was the lead singer and bassist. You know, like
I
I
feel
was
like I feel like I've only had
okay.
one of those bands of all time. Well, yeah, I guess back in the day, I had Backstreet Boys when I was growing up because I met them. I had the luxury of meeting them and doing all the shit. So I kind of gravitated towards them, learned their names. But the one that I knew was Bless the Fall. Have you ever heard of Bless the Fall?
No,
Okay.
I mean it sounds
It's a
vaguely familiar, but
hardcore Christian metal band, which sounds weird. I don't know why they put the Christian in there, but it's a hardcore metal band. But I've always known it's Bo Boken, Jared Worth, Eric Lambert. Matt Trainer was the drummer that left. But I that was the band that I knew their names. But since then, I don't really know a band by everybody's name. I know like Luke Combs. I know Post Malone. I know, but I don't know the drummer's name. And I feel like that's kind of disrespectful in a way, but Not
But I mean,
really, because now it's more like one name instead of a band anymore. You know what
exactly.
I
Oh
mean?
yeah,
We're going
yeah,
towards Spotlight on Me instead
exactly.
of band.
Oh, I know, but like, I mean, that's the generational difference. Like, you got this performer, and then the band behind them, like, all right, it's Phil, Pete, Steve, and Stephanie, but nobody knows where they came from. And you know what? Next time I see them, I don't even think Phil's going to be there because he's going and playing with,
I was going
Backstreet
to say
Boys.
that
Is
too. Like the other band that I could think of, Paramore. I knew at one time I knew their names, but they've switched so much. Like Haley Williams has always been the front runner, but the drummer switched, the guitarist switched, everybody switches. So I feel like it's just a revolving door, and there's just always the front runner. Like what's his name? Benson Boone.
yeah,
I'm sure he's got a drummer, but 2 years from now, he may have another drummer because
yeah,
this drummer goes somewhere else. And then
yeah.
it's a revolving door. So
I'd
the
like to be
industry always changes.
I'd like to be the drummer for Benson Boone in a couple of years, please.
Oh God, I'd like to have Benson Boone abs. I got to go to the gym for that. I got to stop being lazy and drinking popcorn.
Go back to Permison Woods, man. Go back to Permison Woods to get that nuance going. Um,
Anyway,
so
what were we talking about?
oh yeah, exactly. So one of the things that stood out to me music wise, and it was like late 70s, mid to late 70s when it came out, is like you take a listen to that song, Ron Yar Stomp, and there's like two vocals going on there. There's like a high pitched and there's like a mid level, like an alto, and it varies as to who's going to take the verse, if you will, or some of the like the solos. And that is Robert Plant, two different recordings singing the same song. And
My
that was
my
like
question was going to be what sorry to cut you off, but my question was going to be, is there two different people singing or is it Robert Plant? Because I could see both.
it's
I could
it's
see like Jimmy Page like kind of doing the like bullshit through it, but Jimmy like that Robert Plant doing both things, and I could see that too. So go ahead.
no, it's Robert Plant doing both of them. He's
That's
just doing
awesome.
two, yeah. And then what's really cool is, I mean, John Bonham is like one of the most famous drummers of all time, and he has those like solos in the movie that they made. Song Remains the Same. And the only thing he's doing on the drum kit wise during that song is basically just the bass drum, and the rest of it, the rest of the rhythm throughout the song is everybody clapping.
I saw the clapping and the spoons and all that stuff in there, and I was like, this is right up my alley, man. I
It's
love all that stuff in the back. Like, oh,
so here's a weird story about why I know this song. Like I used to go and like play pool and hang out with my buddies at a bar in Pacific Beach, California, and one of my buddies' girlfriends plays it at this I don't even remember the name of the bar, and I never heard it before. And you think about like, is there a song by like Metallica? Is there a song by like AC/DC? Is there a song by like Creed that you never heard before? On a radio or on like a jukebox randomly. Sometimes it happens.
that's that's where we're gonna find a disconnect here because all of those bands, I'm sure you could find a song that I've never heard because I only hear them on the radio and the
Yeah.
jukebox, and I only hear their most popular songs. But it's this is just shocking. This is like AC/DC going to New Zealand and coming up with some Lord of the Rings type song. You
It's
know what I
it's
mean? This is
it's
this
pretty
is
imp
this
it's pretty
is
impressive that you brought up New Zealand because those guys grew up in Australia. Look at you.
you know what I mean? But so for they were Led Zeppelin was quoted to be the heaviest band of the 70s.
Predecessor to like heavy metal.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
they started the metal of that era. They were credited. Again, not a fan or um, current time when they were active, but
I mean,
I
your
looking
parents were
into it,
like, your parents and I were in elementary school together at the time, so we were fine.
yeah, but looking into it, that's what they were saying. This was one of the heaviest bands of the time. And then looking into more of their albums, Led Zeppelin 1 was heavy metal, blues, folk. And I was like, okay, let's see where we're kind of going here. And then Led Zeppelin 2 got into the commercial, but kind of the original heavy album of that time. And that was 69 going into the 70s. And then you get into Led Zeppelin 3, and it's acoustic, and you have this kind of, so I see they said it
Folk,
was an acoustic type
more,
album,
more folk-esque, I think.
more folk-esque. I guess acoustic is not the right word, and I read that and I was like, I don't think so. But
Right.
their most folk album, and it was kind of shocking to see how they went into it. And then you get to the Untitled, which Led Zeppelin 4, quote unquote, Stairway to Heaven, that's their most popular song. What's your opinion on that song?
So that was a song when I was in middle school when I first started like dating girls. That's the song that you dance to at the end of the
Okay.
dance, and then you might
All
have a
right.
little smooch in and
There you go. You got to be in the mood for it. It's kind of a mood song. I'm listening to it on the way home from work, and I'm like, I don't like this.
And I'm
This is
blushing because of my description, you
look at him.
weirdo.
Look at him. Look at him.
So you know what? The takeaway of my bringing this up, and you're laying it all out there, and then even the more popular albums out of the Houses of the Holy, and like there are some. I mean, it's amazing their albums, but the thing was, and the thing is, I'm sitting there and I'd play a song like this at a restaurant, bar, tavern, or something on on a jukebox nowadays. And I'm saying to myself, and I'll say it to my friends, and I said it to you. I said, "This is my favorite song by Led Zeppelin," and almost the plurality of everyone there had never heard it before. And like, and I'm like trying to wrap my head around it. Is like, is there other? I mean, there's got to be other bands. There's got to be other musicians, and people have these nichey songs. But like, I mean, this is not even close. Like all the other ones, everybody knows all the songs that you mentioned. Song remains the same, and I mean, you just continue on and on and on because they're on the radio all the time. But this one's by far and away my favorite song by Led Zepp.
Now, I think I just looked up the album. So there's 10 songs on the album. This is number 9
Right.
on. So I know me, right? I get into something, I get bored very quick. If the like if if I listen to this for the first song, Immigrant Song is the first one, I'm turning it off.
Well, okay, but I like that song, so
Yeah, but the start of it when he's just whining, like stop, dude. I've always hated that. And
that's
now that
a
I know, honestly, I didn't know that was the song that opened up the album. If I bought that album, I would go right the fuck back to Best
return
Buy or
it.
wherever you buy it in 1970. But I would return it. But you're going all the way down to 9 to get to your favorites. I see why like people don't know it.
Okay.
I've never listened to this album start to finish. I listened to a couple. So what I did was go through every album and listen to bits and pieces to see how they changed,
Right.
and I kind of got the gist. But I don't know. I feel like does this album change? It's got to change drastically from Immigrant Song to yeah.
Yeah. I, but you know what? That was the nuances of those
No,
albums
yeah, I
back in
get
the
that.
day.
But so to be described as like a folk album, and then you start with that,
Yeah.
like I don't know. My young ass mind goes to the Thor movie because that was all over the place in that, and it's just Thor just beating the shit out of people, and that's a folk song. Like, come on, I don't put them together, but that's my fault. So I don't know. I guess I'm what I'm saying is I don't know that people got all the way to the end of this album all the time. Like they may have once, but you don't get uh, how many times have you listened to a full album and the 9, 8, 9, 10 song is your favorite?
That's the little nuance that I'm describing here.
Kind
Um,
of hurts them in the long run, maybe, or it does it.
it's
Because now
not.
in 2025, Timmy's spreading it around the bar, spreading the word. You know what I mean?
Yeah, with our half a dozen listeners and viewers. Um, we got to change that
Of
around.
all the potentially 8 of you, I think that's all right. Well, of you
So,
all.
you know what, I brought up a bunch of other bands to bring up, but I'll tell you right now, and I say it almost every time we talk, it keeps getting better and better and better.
It's so the other bands you brought up.
Yeah, but
Do
we're
we have
gonna say
time to talk about them
yeah, we're gonna
real
say
quick?
okay because
Real
it's
quick.
arena rock. That's the
Just
way
a
that I was framing it.
just a quick I got some notes on the bands you brought up.
Okay,
I got
go.
some notes. Big note guy.
Okay,
Big note guy. Let's start with Greta Van Fleet.
and
Right.
they were
Um,
go, yeah. You ever
no,
see
no,
him?
no, go ahead.
You ever see him?
No, no, they've been around a lot recently, last
It's
couple years.
it's three brothers and a cousin, and
I did see that.
yeah, and their first album was described as Led Zeppelin-esque.
God damn it, they nailed it.
I know.
So when I first heard them on the radio, I kind of I don't know, didn't like brush them under the rug, but I was like that listening to them on Q102 just didn't make sense to me. So I kind of just yeah, they are fucking amazing. And yes, they're very Led Zeppelin. So I see that why you brought them up. But goddamn, I'm hooked on them. Rival Sons. I wrote down one word. Fuck. They're so good. They're so good. These guys, dude, from top to bottom, I can't wait to talk about them. Kings of Leon, Sex on Fire, and Use Somebody? Stop it. Get away from me. I love those songs. Um, Black Rebel? I gotta give him a little more time, or you gotta show me some good songs, man, because you lost me with that one, but you nailed the other three. 3 out of 4 is not bad. Rockers are the other ones, but yeah, Black Rebel, you gotta send me something. You
I
gotta
will.
persuade me there.
I will, then my request of you, my favor to ask of you, my goodness, is let's save that topic for another
Yeah.
time, and then we can kind of correlate it or kind of segue to this topic right now. You are the
Said hi.
man, sir.
Are
Said
we
I.
uh are we wrapping up?
We are gonna wrap up, but I want to know because like, all right, I mean, you seem to have a topic, but my question normally is what's next week?
Well, before we get to next week, there was a fun little tidbit. I guess this could be Zach's weird question of the week. The shark episode. Apparently, Led Zeppelin fucked a fish on stage at a show. Do you know about that?
I vaguely know about it, but I couldn't do a deep dive into the topical content. I've
All
heard.
right, so later, you guys heard it here first. We're gonna do a let's see, Black Rebel Motorcycle Club, and we'll touch on the shark episode from Led Zeppelin when apparently they fucked a fish live on stage. So we'll talk about that too. Timmy's around his people, so we're not going to make him talk about that. We'll save it. Timmy, thank you for for coming here live in a new environment. It looks nice. I like those windows behind you.
Yeah, look at that. And you know what? I'm never going to be in a car again, you bastard. Sorry. I'm never going to do that again. Carry on smartly. Zach, thank you, my friend.
Enjoy your popcorn, everybody. Is that hot?